In the vast landscape of human behavior and sexuality, few topics remain as heavily veiled by social taboo and private whispers as the one we're exploring today. It's a subject that exists in a strange limbo, intensely personal, yet rarely discussed with any real factual clarity. We're talking about the act of swallowing semen and the fundamental question that often surrounds it: to swallow or not to swallow. For many, this decision is framed by personal preference, intimacy, or cultural conditioning. But what if there's more to it? What if we set aside the social awkwardness and looked at it not as a personal dilemma, but as a profound biological and psychological event? That's exactly what we're going to do. This isn't a video about opinions or judgments. It's a deep dive into the fascinating and often surprising science of what happens when this complex biological fluid interacts with the female body. Scientific research, though limited, has begun to peel back the layers of this taboo, revealing startling information, both positive and negative, that has largely remained outside of public conversation. We're going to explore the hidden chemistry of semen, discovering that it's far more than just a vehicle for reproduction. It's a sophisticated biological cocktail packed with a host of chemicals, hormones, and nutrients that can influence everything from mood and sleep to the very workings of the immune system. So, I invite you to approach this topic with an open and curious mind. What we'll uncover might challenge what you thought you knew, and will certainly give you a deeper appreciation for the intricate connection between our bodies, our minds, and our relationships. If you value content that isn't afraid to tackle complex subjects with scientific honesty and genuine respect, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. I'm Dr. Lauren Hart, and I'm dedicated to exploring the intricate connections between biology, psychology, and sexuality with clarity and respect. Now let's get started with the science. So what exactly is in semen? The first and most important thing to understand is a common misconception. It's not primarily made of sperm. In fact, the sperm cells themselves, the spermatozoa, make up only about 5 to 10% of the total volume of an ejaculation. The vast majority, the other 90 to 95%, is a complex fluid called synoplasma. This plasma is not just a passive carrier. It is a highly sophisticated, strategically engineered biological solution, a true cocktail of substances produced by various glands in the male reproductive system. Its evolutionary purpose is singular and clear: to protect, nourish, and energize the sperm on its incredibly difficult journey to fertilize an egg. Let's break down this cocktail, starting with the foundational elements. First, there's fructose. This isn't the same as table sugar. It's a simple sugar that serves as the primary high-octane fuel source for sperm cells. It gives them the energy required to swim. Synoplasma also contains a rich mix of proteins and enzymes. These have several jobs, including protecting the sperm from the acidic environment of the female reproductive tract and helping to manage the consistency of the fluid itself, allowing the sperm to move freely when the time is right. It's also packed with essential minerals and vitamins like zinc, which is crucial for sperm health and DNA stability, as well as vitamin C and vitamin B12, which act as antioxidants and support overall cellular function. But this is where the composition moves from merely functional to truly fascinating. Beyond these life-sustaining nutrients, semen contains a powerful array of hormones and mood-altering neurochemicals, compounds that are identical to the ones that regulate our own emotions, stress levels, and feelings of well-being. This psychoactive dimension is what makes the science so compelling. First, we find cortisol. This is widely known as the body's primary stress hormone. It plays a role in reducing inflammation and regulating the immune system. Next, there's melatonin. You probably recognize this one as the sleep hormone. It's the chemical our brain releases to regulate our circadian rhythms and tell our body when it's time to rest. Then there's serotonin, one of the most famous neurotransmitters in our brain. Serotonin is often called the feel-good chemical because of its profound impact on mood, happiness, and feelings of contentment. And perhaps most notably, semen contains oxytocin, often referred to as the love hormone or bonding hormone. Oxytocin is a powerful chemical that fosters feelings of trust, intimacy, and social connection. It's the same hormone released during hugging, childbirth, and breastfeeding, playing a critical role in forming deep emotional bonds. From an evolutionary standpoint, this all makes perfect sense. This intricate cocktail is a life support system meticulously designed to ensure the success of reproduction. But what happens when this system is introduced to an entirely different part of the human body, like the digestive tract? Suddenly, these components are no longer just supporting sperm. They can be absorbed into the bloodstream where they can exert their influence in completely different ways, off-label effects that have nothing to do with making a baby, but everything to do with the chemistry of the woman who ingests them. And that is where the potential for surprising benefits and hidden risks truly begins. Now that we understand the intricate chemical makeup of semen, we can explore one of the most startling areas of research: the potential for surprising and positive effects on a woman's mind and body. While this field of study is still emerging, the findings offer a fascinating window into a complex biochemical interaction. It's important to stress that these are not guaranteed outcomes, but rather scientifically observed correlations and hypotheses that challenge us to think differently about this intimate act. Perhaps the most widely cited and debated potential benefit is its proposed antidepressant effect. This idea gained significant attention following a groundbreaking 2002 study conducted at the State University of New York at Albany. Researchers surveyed nearly 300 sexually active college women, asking them about their sexual practices and assessing their mood using the Beck Depression Inventory, a standard clinical tool. They divided the women into groups based on their partner's condom usage: those who never used condoms, those who used them sometimes, and those who always used them. The results were striking. The women who were directly exposed to their partner's semen, meaning no condom was used, reported significantly fewer depressive symptoms and demonstrated overall higher levels of happiness compared to those in the other groups. The leading hypothesis to explain this correlation points directly back to the psychoactive cocktail we just discussed. The theory is that the mood-elevating compounds in semen, such as serotonin, oxytocin, and other endorphins, are absorbed through the lining of the digestive tract and enter the bloodstream. Once circulating throughout the body, these hormones and neurotransmitters can exert a systemic antidepressant-like influence, contributing to a greater sense of well-being. This suggests that the emotional lift experienced after intimacy might not be purely psychological, but may also have a tangible biochemical component. Beyond mood, other components could play a role in relaxation and sleep. The presence of melatonin, the body's natural sleep-regulating hormone, is particularly noteworthy. While the amount is small, its ingestion could theoretically contribute to a feeling of calmness and may even aid in sleep, aligning with the sense of tranquility many people feel after sex. Furthermore, the love hormone oxytocin is central to the idea of emotional bonding. We know that oxytocin is a powerful agent in fostering feelings of trust, empathy, and social connection. The transfer and absorption of this hormone during intimacy can be seen as a form of biochemical reinforcement. It adds a biological layer to the psychological experience of closeness, potentially strengthening the emotional bond between partners by literally exchanging the chemistry of connection. However, one of the most profound and scientifically intriguing potential benefits relates to the immune system and pregnancy. This is centered on a concept called immunological tolerance. A woman's immune system is designed to recognize and attack foreign invaders. From a biological standpoint, a fetus is technically a foreign entity as half of its genetic material comes from the father. In some cases, the mother's immune system can have an aggressive reaction, One of the most dangerous examples of this is preeclampsia, a serious pregnancy complication involving high blood pressure, which is thought to be linked to an adverse maternal immune response to the paternal genes within the placenta. Remarkably, several studies have suggested that regular long-term exposure to a partner's semen can help build up a tolerance. The idea is that by introducing the woman's body to the partner's specific proteins and DNA over time, her immune system gradually learns to recognize this genetic material as safe rather than as a threat to be attacked. Research has shown a strong correlation. Women with more prolonged sexual exposure to the father's semen before conception, including through oral ingestion, have a significantly reduced risk of developing preeclampsia. This suggests that the practice can act as a kind of natural immunization preparing the body for a healthy pregnancy. It is absolutely crucial, however, to put these findings into perspective. These are fascinating correlations and hypotheses, not medical prescriptions. Ingesting semen is not a clinically proven treatment for depression, a substitute for a sleeping pill, or a guaranteed way to prevent pregnancy complications. Rather, these studies offer a compelling glimpse into the subtle and powerful ways our bodies communicate, revealing a biological dialogue that is far more complex than we ever imagined. And this idea of a deep biological dialogue is so important. This connection, this incredible exchange of chemistry that can strengthen bonds and promote well-being, is truly a two-way street. For this intimacy and mutual satisfaction to flourish, the confidence and vitality of both partners is key. And for the men watching or for the women who care about the men in their lives, we know that maintaining peak performance and the confidence that comes with it can sometimes be a challenge. That's why I want to briefly share a resource. There is a fascinating and eye-opening video that explains a powerful 100% natural 7-second home remedy that addresses the real scientific root cause of male performance issues. It's a breakthrough approach that doesn't involve risky pills or lifestyle changes, and it's designed to help restore the kind of powerful, lasting hardness and stamina that is foundational to a thriving sex life. If that sounds interesting to you or someone you know, you can watch this free private video right now. Just open the camera on your phone and point it at the QR code you see on the screen. It will take you directly there. I've also pinned a direct link at the very top of the comments section below this video. While the potential benefits are intriguing, it is absolutely essential to approach this topic with a clear and responsible understanding of the hidden risks. Providing a balanced perspective is not just important. It is a matter of health and safety. The same intimate act that may offer psychological and immunological advantages can also, under the wrong circumstances, pose significant dangers. The science is unequivocal on this point, and ignoring these risks can have serious long-term consequences. The most immediate and undeniable danger is the transmission of sexually transmitted infections, or STI. This is the single most critical risk factor to consider. Seminal fluid is a primary vehicle for a wide range of viral and bacterial pathogens, and the delicate mucous membranes of the mouth, throat, and digestive tract are highly effective at absorbing them. It's a dangerous myth that oral sex is safe sex. Many of the most serious STI can be transmitted just as effectively through oral contact as they can through genital contact. Let's be explicit about the risks. HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, can be transmitted orally if there are any small cuts, sores, or inflammation in the mouth or gums, which are far more common than people realize. Herpes, both oral HSV1 and genital HSV2, can be easily transmitted and can cause painful recurring sores. Human papillomavirus, or HPV, is another major concern. Certain strains of HPV can cause genital warts, while others are linked to a significant increase in the risk of developing oropharyngeal cancers, that is, cancers of the back of the throat, the base of the tongue, and the tonsils. Rates of these cancers have been rising, and oral HPV transmission is a primary cause. Bacterial infections like chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis, can also infect the throat, leading to severe soreness, inflammation, and if left untreated, more serious systemic health problems. A crucial and sobering fact is that many of these infections can be asymptomatic in the carrier. A partner can be infected and contagious without showing any visible signs or symptoms, making visual inspection an unreliable method of assessing risk. Beyond infectious diseases, there's another less common but serious risk: an allergic reaction. This condition is known clinically as seminal plasma hypersensitivity. While rare, some individuals can have a severe allergic response to specific proteins found in semen. The reaction is triggered by the immune system mistakenly identifying these proteins as harmful invaders. When ingested, the symptoms can range from mild localized reactions like itching, swelling, redness, or hives in the mouth and throat to more severe systemic anaphylactic reactions. Anaphylaxis is a life-threatening condition that can cause difficulty breathing, a drop in blood pressure, and requires immediate medical attention. For those with this sensitivity, the practice is not just uncomfortable, it is medically dangerous. Finally, we must consider the broader health and lifestyle of the partner. The chemical composition of semen is not static. It is a direct reflection of a person's overall health, diet, and habits. What a person consumes, their body processes, and some of those substances can end up in their bodily fluids, including semen. This means that toxins from excessive alcohol consumption, illicit drug use, or even high doses of certain prescription medications can potentially be present in seminal fluid. Ingesting these substances can introduce them into your own system, essentially making the fluid a vector for toxins. A healthy lifestyle, good diet, and transparency about medication are therefore not just relationship ideals. They are factors in the biological safety of this practice. The only truly effective way to mitigate these profound risks is through a foundation of absolute trust, open and honest communication about sexual health histories, and consistent regular health screenings for both partners. Without that foundation, the potential for pleasure can irrevocably become a problem. So, where does all of this leave us? After journeying through the complex chemistry, the surprising potential benefits, and the very real critical risks, we arrive at a clear conclusion. The act of swallowing semen is far more significant than social taboos would have us believe. It is not merely a matter of personal taste or a simple gesture of intimacy. It is a genuine biological exchange, a complex transaction of chemicals, hormones, and genetic information that can have measurable effects on everything from our emotional state to the fundamental workings of our immune system. We've seen how the psychoactive components in this biological cocktail, the serotonin, the oxytocin, the melatonin, mirror the very neurochemicals that govern our mood and sense of connection. This has led to fascinating research suggesting potential antidepressant effects and a strengthening of emotional bonds, adding a layer of biochemical depth to the experience of intimacy. We've explored the incredible hypothesis that regular exposure to a partner's seminal fluid could even help prime a woman's immune system for a healthier pregnancy, reducing the risk of serious complications like preeclampsia by fostering immunological tolerance. Yet on the other side of this compelling coin, we are faced with undeniable risks that demand our utmost respect and caution. The threat of STI from HIV and herpes to cancer-causing strains of HPV is not a remote possibility. It is a clear and present danger that can be transmitted orally. We've acknowledged the rare but serious potential for allergic reactions and the important fact that a partner's lifestyle and health directly impact the safety of their seminal fluid. These are not minor details. They are the critical counterweights in a very delicate balance. Ultimately, the purpose of this exploration is not to tell you what you should or should not do. It is not to advocate for or against this practice. The goal is to strip away the layers of myth, shame, and misinformation and replace them with knowledge. Because true empowerment comes from understanding. It comes from having the facts, all of them, and being able to make a conscious, informed, and personal choice that is right for you, your body, and your relationship. In the end, knowledge is the bridge that allows us to move beyond taboos. By daring to look at the science behind our most intimate behaviors, we open the door to more honest and healthier conversations. Understanding our own biology is the first step toward understanding each other more deeply. This is a choice that should only be made in the context of absolute trust, open communication, and a shared commitment to health and safety. The science is complex, but the path forward is clear. Be informed, be safe, and be honest. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into a topic that deserves more light and less shadow. If you found this information valuable and appreciate this kind of unfiltered science-based exploration, please take a moment to like this video and share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journey into the fascinating psychology and science behind our lives. Thank you for watching.